veterans. We provide and retrain service dogs for veterans and first responders with PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and military sexual trauma. We provide all the training, 100% free for the veteran. We also provide free food and free medical for the life of that dog. We started out, just like I said, with just a Facebook page. We opened the training center 7 years ago in Chicago on Roosevelt and Central. That was our first training location in Joliet, where we're at now. How much we're growing. There's always one more veteran to help. That's the sad part. The most important thing that they do for us is when our veterans are having a PTSD episode, the dog's gonna alert them to let them know that they're going to a bad place. The dog is going to divert their attention from being in that bad place to come back. It's all good here. It's all safe. You don't have to worry about that. And it's an amazing gift. Online to our website, which is the letter K, the number 9, the letter S, the letter D.org. At the top of that page, you're going to see a service dog application. They're going to fill that out to the best of their ability. Hit that send button. Within, I'd say, a day or two, they're going to get a call from Ken, who is our vice president, and he's going to go over the entire program with that veteran. After Ken determines that the veteran is in need of a service dog, then we let him talk to our trainer, Kate, who is an amazing trainer. We'll sit there and find out exactly what they're looking for in a service dog. How is a service dog going to help them? After Kate determines what their needs are, then Kate will go out to all the local shelters and she'll look for a dog that's going to best fit that veteran's needs. Have that veteran come to the training center with his entire family. They do a meet and greet with that dog, and they got to spend some time with that dog, just to make sure that they feel it's going to be a good fit for them in their life. After that, then they start coming in for training. It's like boot camp 101. They train from the ground. They train from basic obedience all the way up to the PTSD level of detection for that PTSD signs. You know, we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. If we lost one, it would be too many. But losing 22 a day, I'm really proud to say that through our program, we have not lost one veteran to PTSD suicide. Watch these veterans train with these service dogs. The bond that they formed, I mean, they'll come into the program maybe a little apprehensive in the beginning. Is this for me? Is it going to work? You know, it's going to really change my life. They've been in that program a month or two. Oh my God, the bond that they form with their dog, and as well as other veterans in the program that are going through the same thing they are. So not only are they benefiting from the dog, but they're forming a bond with other veterans. And it's so healthy to see them come out of that shell. Because when they first come into the program, the majority of them are withdrawn, quiet, just not very outgoing at all. Within a couple months, they just all out different people. Doing what we do, it's hard. It goes 24/7. So when I see these veterans train with their dogs and I see the difference that it makes in their life, that's all I need to keep going. I mean, that's everything we strive for. The outlet store that we have at the Proud and Bolingbrook Mall was created where we have most of the products in our store are all made by veterans, and we sell them for the veterans, and all the proceeds that we make from the store goes right back into providing another service dog to another veteran. So the Promenade Bolingbrook Mall has been absolutely phenomenal to us. And we started out with a smaller space right around the corner from here, and the store was doing really well, and they said, you know what, you need a bigger space. So they walked us in here and I went, wow, yeah, it's a much bigger space. We have popcorn as I look around. We've got Gun Girl Coffee. We've got people that make flags. A guy that makes pens out of wood from rifles. Just a little bit of everything. When we're in the military, we have what we call a battle buddy. Somebody's always got our back. When we transition into civilian life, we don't have that. You know a veteran out there that's struggling with PTSD, traumatic brain injury, or MST, don't hesitate. Have them call us. It'll be an amazing turnaround for them. It'll really enhance their life. Stay in touch with them. Talk to them. Let them know you're there for them. You know, and that's, I think, the most important thing you do.
Hi, my name is Luis Diaz. I'm a Navy veteran, and this is my service dog, Arlife. Did 8 years in the Navy with multiple tours in support of enduring Iraqi freedom, enduring freedom. So kind of going back and forth, and got out back in 2011. Honestly, when I first got out, like many veterans, I didn't know the signs. I didn't know what was going on. I contributed to everything. There's always an excuse, either I'm too tired, I'm running low on energy, whatever the case was. There was always an excuse. It wasn't till about 2020 when we started seeing PTSD come out more and more, and the VA announcing it more. Look out for these symptoms, that my wife and my kids actually started looking into it. And the further they went down the list, the more that I checked off, And it was actually because of my kids that I started seeking help. My wife, she started the whole process. She started getting me help through the VA, and again, the VA does an okay job. There's just so much more left. And we started looking into, maybe a service dog is of benefit. I reached out to several programs, and 3 years later, I have yet to hear back from them. Not in, we're full, none of it. Some of the programs, it was a 2 to 3 year wait. Then you have to wait for the dog to show up, and then you have to bond with the dog. And my wife actually, through research, found Canine for Veterans, and within 24 hours, they reached back out to me and wanted to help me out, got me to the center, and within a couple of weeks I had Arlo. Of going without a dog, and like Michael was saying, Kate was actually the one asking me questions and kind of diagnosing me of what it is that I need, what I wanted. I actually wanted a lab, something calm, and luckily, she saw different and got me a Belgian Mal, which, was a blessing in disguise, because he's made sure that I stayed active. The first day we met, it was love at first sight. I took him home that very same day, and we haven't been able to separate from each other ever since. This is Arlo. He's a 3-year-old Belgian Malinois, high energy. There is no less than 100%. Anytime we're out and about, he loves to work. As serious as he looks working, he does love his cuddles. So when he's at home, he's a big softie. He's a big mama's boy, but he takes his job very serious. So he's actually helped me out a lot and helped me bridge that gap back into society. First couple of weeks is all about bonding. It's all about getting to know each other. Just like in any relationship, you want to know the ins and outs, what ticks him off, what ticks me off. And you start building that bond from there. You start with all of the basic obedience, which is just repetitive, because these dogs need to be on point. They need to be able to do their job. So we focus a lot on that. And to tell you the truth, training never ends, because there's always something to work on. There's always something to be cleaning up. Every opportunity is a training opportunity. There's never set an end date. I'm able to get up more, and if I'm feeling down, he lets me know. He will put pressure on me. He will force me to go out, and we don't go out for anything less than 2 miles, and that's just an average. We constantly stay on the move. Same thing in the winter. There were a lot of times where I just didn't want to go out. I didn't feel like doing anything. Even the mall used to be a challenge, and now at least I'm able to go out. I don't have to worry about having to constantly keep a lookout of something coming out. He does that for me, and again, I'm able to spend more time with the family outdoors, something that I wasn't able to do back in the day. One of the things that's kind of a hidden gem with the program is that it's almost like a therapy session, because you start working with other veterans that have the same issues that you have or similar issues. You get to kind of bounce back info between each other. What did you do to do this? How are you, even the training. Like Michael said, we get into competitions now, and friendly competitions of what can we get the dogs to do. And it really helps us get out of the shell, because the first year you know, you're very serious, you're very, you know, down to earth. And when you're going through the training, sometimes you have to have fun, you have to let loose, and that's part of the program. And I would recommend it 100% to anybody, and let them know that it's never too late. You're always taught to, you know what, suck it up, keep on moving, you know, don't worry about the pain or anything like that. And as you go years without being in the military, you start making excuses for why you're feeling a certain way, why you're doing, you don't want to seek help. So, you know, to be able to finally give in and admit that you do have an issue, and someone like this comes into your life. And with Arlo, you know, I didn't have to teach him to pick up on my emotions. That's how strong the bond was from the get-go. He was picking up with it within the first couple of weeks.
I'm Richard Ladoni. I go by Rick. This is my service dog Gideon, and I was an Army veteran. So finding canines was actually just a stroke of luck. I applied to 3 different organizations prior to canines. My grandmother actually saw them on the news and told me to reach out. I almost gave up hope. When I came back, I, like most veterans, didn't notice the signs. I was living with family to get ready to go through college and get my degree so I could actually do something. Everybody around me is the one that started noticing signs and actually pushed me to get help. I've seen a lot of my friends and co-workers when I was in kill themselves with pills, commit suicide with pills, so I was against medication completely, and the therapist that I chose to go to just recommended a service animal. Within the 48 hours of seeing her, I had a doctor's note stating that it would be the best benefit. For myself, I was self-medicating heavily with alcohol. I would isolate myself. I wasn't leaving the house for days, weeks at a time, and I wasn't leaving my actual bedroom for days at a time. So my initial interaction with Gideon was the trainer bringing him in from outside with no leash and him just kind of running rampant throughout the training area. He was very shy, very timid at first, and it was a learning process to get the dog to want to give you the attention that was required, but by the end of the 45-minute hour session, he was sitting on my lap eating hot dogs out of my hoodie pocket. I'm closer to the pre-military version of myself that I could possibly get to. There's obviously still challenges from the rewiring that the military puts you through, but he has made going outside easier, knowing that I have someone like him that depends on me in order to survive. It just gives me my sense of purpose and reason to get out of the house every day. Mm-hmm. My experience in the military was awesome. I did 1 rotation to Korea, got injured in Korea, but besides that I was a command driver, so I spent a lot of time dealing with higher-ups and driving them from training events to meetings. I was a designated marksman for our sniper platoon in my first unit, and I was a machine gun leader as soon as I finished that. It was overwhelming, and in my experience, just miserable. No one could understand the things that I've done, the training, the experiences. Everyone saw what appeared to be normal and functional when I was drinking to put myself to sleep at night. Anybody that spends time with them, if you see any of the signs, call for them, do something for them. After getting paired with him, the bond was almost immediate. I got him on a Thursday, and that Saturday he was waking me up from my first nightmare with him. So he caught on pretty quick and made everything extremely easy. He's got that want and will to learn and to build, and it doesn't stop. It's got to be one of the best organizations that I've spoken to, not even been a part of, but from day one, called 10 minutes later, Michael called me back and gave me Ken's number, talked to Ken for all of 10 minutes and showed up at the Joliet Center the next day, spoke with the trainer and was tricked into getting a Malinois instead of a lab. Giving him a purpose definitely makes him a lot happier, and in turn it makes me a better person.
And then where do you think you or other veterans, or where would somebody be if this program didn't exist?
I would have been dead if I didn't get my dog. I think a lot of veterans that have been put in our shoes and get out and don't really have much to go off of, I think they would have been in the same position. Reach out, the best thing you could do, I mean, the worst they could say is no, right? But I haven't seen them turn anyone away yet, so reach out, at least do your